Um, Here's another point that I just, as I'm listening more to the Book of Mastery, another question arose somewhere out in here and an answer was given, and so I will speak to that. One second. So in this text, they were talking about, it is called the Book of Mastery. The point is, as they just stated, they want us to be the masters of ourselves, to be in our own mastery. And all of a sudden there was the question out here in left field somewhere that one said, well, what about Jesus? Isn't Jesus supposed to be the master, our master? And I'm going to explain again, the information comes as feelings and as information, not really as words. It is information given that I attempt to find words for, okay? Except these questions that sometimes I am able to hear. So not hear in the ears, hear. Like I'm eavesdropping on a conversation that I have permission to be in or to be listening to. It's very strange. But anyway, so the feeling I got as soon as the question was asked about Jesus being the master was this feeling almost from the one we think of as Jesus the Christ. This feeling and impression came in that I was able to witness, which was one of almost a righteous anger. It wasn't an anger, but it was a very righteous passion. Oh, my little girl dog decided to come in. She opened the door. This is my girl dog. There. Are you there? Where are you, Cassie? Was this really righteous passion, not anger, but very, very strong sensation, which was, have I not told you ye are gods? Like as if he was wanting to say to this question, I am your brother, I am your equal, I am not a god over you. I came to remind you of your own power and worth, and to look to me as the master over you is to undo, is to make null my teachings. So now this is me speaking at this point. This is Missy talking now. The feeling was that, Jesus came, he taught here on this planet. He brought into physical form, into physicality, into matter, the energies of his teachings. And that was the purpose, was to bring that energy to the physical plane, to allow it to be part of the human experience again, because it had been so forgotten. What we were given as the teachings of Jesus the Christ was a footnote, if even a footnote, of the truth in totality of the teachings, for many reasons. One reason is because the human on the planet at the time that Jesus walked the earth, so many of us were in a state of darkness as far as energy goes. We were in a very dense energetic field in our form, not just the world or the planet, in our form. And what I mean is that it was as if we were dumbed down in consciousness. Our consciousness was very low. And from all kinds of things, oppression, for example, having rulers over us, all of these things that stifle the truth of who we are, and in our creation and in our creator aspects, we are creators. That's part of the having dominion here. over plants, animals, etc., is we are able to harness the God power, source power, and use it and channel it into being in whatever way. We're manifesting all the time, even if we don't know it, and that is creation. We are bringing from thought into form. Manifestation, to bring from thought into form, to bring from energetic field into a physical form is manifestation. So the idea, what Jesus came to do and why he was crucified, was because he was telling us that we are the power. All we need to do is nurture it and cultivate it. All we need to do is raise it up within us. All we need to do is take the time that is required to allow this thing to grow within us until we become it in its fullness, which is what Christ is, right? Christ is the Christed, perfected aspect of every individuated aspect of God here. And another way of looking at it. And all of this, again, is just words. And words to explain a thing that is all things. There is no separation. It is all one. And another way we can look at that is, the word that is tomato in English is tomato. It is something else in Spanish and something else in Latin and something else in, right? And I don't know all those, but it still is the same thing. It's still a tomato. We are, many of us are still caught up in the labels and in the words used to define a thing. But it is all the same thing. It is all the same thing. The grass I see out my window, the trees I see out my window, they are all God. Even though this one chooses to appear as a tree and that one chooses to appear as a blade of grass, it is still God. You see? When we get into this trap, when we succumb to the trap that says, no, that's a tree, that's a blade of grass, and they are not the same. But there is a level at which they are the same. And so as we go about our life, as we walk this path in this world, this journey, we must remember that there is a level of existence where everything is God. Everything is God. If you are vegan, you're eating plants and vegetables and whatever, you're still eating an aspect of God. Those of us that still eat meat, we're eating an aspect of God. There is a level at which they are all God. They are the same. To create these differences about them and to make one right and one wrong is to create separation that does not exist at the level of God. It doesn't exist. So, I eat meat because I still enjoy eating meat. There are those who don't, and they don't eat meat because it makes them feel whatever way it makes them feel. And that is fine. But just because I eat meat, and that's what works for me, I have no right or authority to judge someone who doesn't eat meat because it doesn't work for them. That's as ridiculous as saying someone has an allergy to peanuts, for example, which I think is crazy because I happen to love peanut butter. I think that's crazy, meaning, how awful to have an allergy to peanuts or milk or, whatever. But if you do have an allergy to that, I can't judge you badly or wrongly because your body reacts to it. That's your journey. That's your path. That's part of your experience, right? Just as today I eat meat, but that doesn't mean a year from now that I won't be a vegetarian. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. The point is, should I choose to be vegetarian, should I choose to be vegan, I'm not going to judge the me who wasn't. I'm not going to see it as wrong because I used to eat meat, right? It's not wrong. It's just where you are. It's where you are. I like a sausage patty. I like a bagel with a sausage patty on it. You know, that's joy for me. I enjoy that. I enjoy eating ice cream. Even though I may feel the effects of it, let's say, I may feel the effects of it. But what I'll say is, it's not the milk, it's all of the processing involved, right? It's all of the processing involved in the milk. It is the way the cows are kept and all of these things. It's not the ice cream itself. It's all the things that go into it that might make it hard on my body, or might make my body choose to reject it in a certain form. You know, again, it's the message that came in this morning, that you may allow your human eyes to limit what you see or not. Just because a thing looks a certain way on the outside, there's a whole lot, the cell of the human body, there's a whole lot going on within that cell that you can't see. What is beneath it? What is beneath it? What is beneath it? It's always about that thing that is beneath it, you know? So that's all for now. I'm in the middle of some things. So in peace and in love, may you be blessed.